everyone. Just got done running some stuff. Look, it's almost 80 in here. Actually, it's probably cooled down since we got finished. But today was a special day. Ran another original Bolink mold. One that I don't own, someone else owns. Here it is. The March 86C Indy car. This particular mold is owned by Roy Anderson Engineering. I'm not sure if you'll ever actually see this video because I want to get permission from him before I show and share this video because he's going to sell them through his website most likely. But this is a test run of an old Bolink mold he's got. As a lot of you know, if you're into RC stuff, at Sabula Tech here, I've got a good portion of 12th scale Bolink molds, some off-road buggy molds, and one truck mold. And Roy, he owns a bunch of other original Bolink molds, and so does Rick Jordan, who used to work for Bolink and made a lot of the molds actually. Now, there might be some other molds floating around there, technically owned by other people, maybe even with Rick. I'm not really sure the exact extent of what has happened to all the original Bolink molds. But yes, I have a portion, Roy Anderson has a portion, and Rick Jordan has a portion of them. So Roy had me run this one for him just to test. This is for the RC10L type chassis, pan car chassis. Now, I had to get a little creative with this since this is just a test run and I'm not charging him anything to do this test run. I had to get it mounted to this plate that he provided, the original plate. But there must have been a spacer in here at some point when this was attached to the plate because we have these little wing side dams on here and I couldn't leave them on there because they stuck down below the mold and made this mold ride up high. And if you know anything about vacuum, it can exert a tremendous amount of pressure, and I didn't want to risk cracking this mold somewhere probably around in here by trying, or even on the side, the parts of these wings, by trying to do a vacuum with these sticking way up in the air and there being a big gap. Plus plastic might have gone wrapped in or around it. It was a pretty good sized gap. So just for this test run, we took these off and ran it, and I'll give you a comparison. This is the original, and you can see there's a line there. And I think there was a wood piece of board there that filled in the gap. Mine that we did today, of course, then doesn't have that line there at all because I don't have that gap space filler in there. So this is a little different. Test run doesn't have those side wings. I'll talk to Roy about what he wants to do if he even wants to run this. This is really just a test run just to kind of see if, you know, if this mold even has any viability or not. It's got a lot of little imperfections and spots and stuff that it's hard to see before you run it, and then you see that it comes through in each body, and then when you actually compare it to this old original one that I used as a protector, you see it has the exact same little kind of defects in it, so you know that it's in the mold, not something that's debris on the mold. But you can actually see here's a good idea of what the wings look like on there. Now, the other issue this mold design has is these high sides here cause webbing right behind there. This side's not as bad as this side. Of course, then mine all have the exact same thing, and that's just because of the way this was designed. It was not designed very well to reduce webbing. I'm not sure of a real good fix for this. Maybe an assist that came in and pushed down on the plastic before the vacuum engaged might do it, but for the purpose of this test run, I didn't even try and do that. I was trying some pressures or vacuum settings to try and see if we could make it any better or worse, and nothing seemed to really help a whole lot. So it's not going to be something at this time we'll probably worry too much about and just say it's part of how the body is. We have a Porsche 935, a Torch 935 that has the same issue because of the way the mold was designed. And I would say at this point I'm not big enough an expert to know exactly the best way to get rid of that. So you can see in here, you see these little pimples on here. I'll get mine. And you see mine doesn't have that actually in it. So this mold was a little dirty when this thing was run. There was some debris. So it just goes to show you that sometimes some of the old ones aren't that good. And I've got some more edge cases like this in some of the low-C bodies. Now, here's the other thing to take into consideration. This, well, it's hard to, you can just hear the body makes noise. That's because this started as an 040 sheet of plastic, quite a bit thicker. And this doesn't have a protective film on it. That's probably causing a little bit of that too. But I do have one here. We ran it in 2 different thicknesses today, or I ran it in 2 different thicknesses today. 040 and 030, just to kind of, and even that sounds a little bit better. I'm going to do a kind of a trim out for him so you can see what thickness he wants to run it in. Because of course, running thicker is going to cost more, and then cost more for you, the customer, if you buy it. So that's it. If you have any questions about this, let me know. If you ever see this video, I'm going to guess these bodies will go for sale on Roy's website. All right, quick interruption and update. Since this video was recorded, I have talked to Roy. He has seen the test bodies and has given me permission to actually sell these test runs on my store at oldrc.com. So check that out if you're interested in getting one. Also, I will still put information about his website in the video here, and go check his website out because he has a lot of interesting bodies as well, from older Bolink molds, McAllister sprint car molds, and some other drag car molds. So check that out. Which I'll put a little blurb here about that, or his other company that he operates with is with another person called RC Car Kings Hobby Store, and they sell a lot of stuff online as well. So it might be available through one of those. And if you never see this video, then too bad, so sad.
Did I ever tell you I'm your hero? I'm everything you wish you could be, because I am the wind beneath your wings.